Before Ridge can even get the words out, the damage is already done. That's the mood hanging over Forrester right now, and honestly, it's explosive. Brooke is making a bold play, Steffy is standing her ground, and Ridge is caught in the middle looking like a man who knows exactly how bad this is about to get. And as if that wasn't enough, Bill Spencer is getting pulled into the fallout too, and he is absolutely not going to stay quiet while Forrester drama starts bleeding into his family and the Logan side of the world. So let's talk about what's coming, because the rest of this week gets tense fast, and the week of May 18th through 22 could take all of it to another level. Wednesday picks up right where things left off, with Ridge standing in front of Steffy and completely failing to do what Brooke asked him to do. He can't even cleanly say it. He can't bring himself to tell his own daughter to step aside so Brooke can slide into her position. And that hesitation says everything. Steffy doesn't need a long explanation. One look at Ridge, one beat too much silence, and she knows exactly what happened. Brooke put him up to this. Steffy isn't blind, and she definitely isn't weak. She may admit that Brooke has earned a place at Forrester Creations, but that does not mean she's about to hand over her job. Not happening. Steffy makes it crystal clear that Brooke is not taking her seat, and she expects Ridge to understand that, not dance around it. That conversation is likely going to leave Ridge rattled, because once Steffy pushes back, he has to face the reality that Brooke's demand was never simple. This isn't just about giving Brooke more authority. Steffy is almost certain to see the real angle here. This is about hope. This is about hope for the future being put on the shelf. And in Steffy's mind, Brooke is not suddenly making a career move out of nowhere. She's reacting as a mother. She's fighting for her daughter, and Steffy is going to read that for exactly what it is. And honestly, Brooke may have made things worse with the argument she used. Bringing up Bill giving Steffy shares and framing it like some kind of payoff was always a risky move. That version of the story doesn't really hold up. Those shares came as a wedding gift during that chapter when Bill was desperate to make a future with Steffy. Was that whole situation messy? Absolutely. But Brooke turning Steffy's romantic history into a weapon while making a business demand of her own is not exactly a clean moral high ground. If anything, it gives Steffy even more reason to dig in. Still, Ridge may not let Steffy walk away feeling completely righteous either. There's a good chance he points out that if she had handled Hope with a little more care, maybe none of this would have escalated to the point where Brooke felt the need to make a power move. That's the tragedy in all of this. Everybody thinks they're defending family, but every choice they make seems to make the divide worse. Meanwhile, over at the Logan house, Brooke and Hope are probably feeling pretty confident. They may already be acting like the outcome is settled, like Brooke becoming co-CEO is just a matter of time, and hope for the future is on its way back. But that confidence could collapse the second Ridge comes home with the truth. He does not have the power to force Steffy out. He can make requests, he can make speeches, he can stall, but he cannot snap his fingers and replace her. And when Brooke hears that Steffy said no, things are going to get ugly fast. Then Thursday shifts the energy a little, but only for a moment. At Forrester, Ivy finally gets some good news when her new job becomes official. She accepts a role working with Daphne Rose on the fragrance line, and for Ivy, that's a real win. It gives her a fresh lane and a little stability, which she clearly needs. That happiness likely spills over to Elektra too. It feels very possible that Ivy shares the news with her, and Elektra is genuinely thrilled. But even that warm moment may come with a shadow hanging over it, because Remy is lurking. He sees Ivy and Elektra reconnecting, and that look on his face says it all. He realizes this bond gives him leverage. That is not good news for anybody, especially Ivy. The stronger that friendship gets, the more likely Remy is to use it as pressure, and that could shove Ivy into dealing with the D situation much sooner than she wants. Back in the main business war, Brooke's attempt to grab power at Forrester has Bill and Katie very uneasy. Once Liam fills them in on what Hope told him, the picture becomes a lot clearer. Brooke wants the co-CEO spot. Hope expects her fashion line to be revived, and suddenly what looked like internal Forrester tension starts turning into a much bigger family strategy game. Donna already warned Katie not to stir up more trouble, especially if it means pulling Hope into Logan. But Katie doesn't seem convinced that staying out of it is the right move. From her perspective, if Hope lands at Logan, that could be a smart move for the company. And Bill? Bill is likely to have one of those classic Spencer reactions where the irritation turns into full-blown rage in about 30 seconds. Because from his point of view, this is exactly what he hates most: Forrester dysfunction spilling over and threatening to mess with Spencer interests and Logan family ties at the same time. And Bill also knows something important here. Because of those shares tied to Steffy, Ridge can't just throw her out of power. That matters. So while Brooke may be convinced Ridge can fix this for her, Bill probably sees the whole thing as a fantasy that is about to blow up in everyone's face. By Friday, another pressure point hits. Zende reaches the end of his patience and unloads on Carter. He put time, effort, and talent into a full collection for hope for the future, and now it may never see daylight. That frustration has been simmering for a while, and now it's boiling over. The big question is how much Carter knows at that point. If Brooke really pushed Ridge not to involve him, Carter may be walking into this without the full picture, which would only make the tension worse. At the same time, Brooke is still holding on to the belief that Ridge will do what she sees as the right thing. In her eyes, the right thing means backing her, not Steffy. But Ridge being Ridge, he may spend most of this trying to avoid a direct collision, which is exactly why both sides are getting angrier with him. He doesn't want to choose, but this is one of those moments where refusing to choose is still a choice. Then we roll into the week of May 18th through 22, and this is where it really starts to feel like the powder keg is about to go off. With May sweeps wrapping up on May 20th, the beginning of the week should be packed with confrontation, emotion, and probably a few moves that can't be taken back. Brooke is not likely to let this go. If she even starts to hesitate, Hope could easily step in and push her mother to keep fighting. And don't be surprised if Brooke starts looking for backup elsewhere, possibly even turning to Eric to see whether he'll help shift the balance and push Steffy out. That would be huge, and it would come with consequences all over the family. Donna, for her part, may be watching this unfold with absolute dread. She already knows how bad business battles get when they turn personal, and this one has "family fracture" written all over it. If Brooke keeps pushing, Donna may have to give her the same warning she's already given Katie. Do not rip this family apart for a corporate win. And Steffy? She is not going to stay quiet either. In fact, next week may bring a fierce confrontation between Steffy and Hope, with Steffy calling out what she believes is the real scheme. She may flat out accuse Hope of using Brooke to come after her job because she's furious that Hope for the future was shelved. That confrontation could be one of the most charged moments of the week, because neither woman is in the mood to pretend anymore. There's also the Logan angle growing in the background. Donna is nervous because she knows Katie would welcome Hope to Logan, and if Liam keeps pushing in that direction, the idea becomes even more real. In a strange way, Katie and Bill being Team Steffy actually makes sense. If Hope stays shut out at Forrester, she becomes much more likely to make a move elsewhere, and Logan could benefit from that. Then there's Ivy, who may finally run out of room to avoid the Remy issue. It looks like she'll have no choice but to go see Dee and deal with the situation head-on. But if Remy is still making threats and trying to force his way back into someone's life, then the truth is simple. He hasn't changed. Not really. And that means the danger around that storyline is still very real. And while all of this is happening, Zende remains dangerously close to snapping. His frustration isn't going away. If anything, it's building. He feels overlooked, his work is being buried, and the people at the top are too busy fighting over power to notice how much collateral damage they're causing underneath them. So going into next week, Ridge is under fire from every direction. Brooke is refusing to back off, Steffy is ready for war, Bill is fed up, and Hope is still right in the center of the storm. And if Ridge thought staying quiet would protect him, he's about to learn the hard way that silence is exactly what lets a mess like this catch fire.